Okay, here's a quick video on adjusting your Taranis sticks. We'll cover the ratcheting, how to make it more or less tight as you like. One thing we'll look at especially, as you can see here on my right stick, you can see like when it's centered, it's still showing like almost 3%. If I jiggle it, I can kind of get it down like to almost 0. But I read something about how to get that fixed. Basically, the one of the springs isn't tight enough, and so if you tighten that up, that'll pull those into the center. So to take the back off, we'll take out 6 screws, 2, 4, 6 screws here, and we'll have to loosen the SG and the SE switches. Okay, here we've got the screws out, the battery out, and here's a nice little trick. It won't come loose without the SG and the SE switches. So if you just grab a paper clip, you can just snip off, get it a little bit more even, snip it off until you get a nice U-shaped paper clip, and then you can put that into the 2 indentations. I don't know what this kind of bolt is called, but it turns out they're not actually screwed in very tight if you can get a purchase on those little cutout tabs. You can do it with a like needle nose pliers or something, but you have to be kind of careful, otherwise you'll scratch them up or something. And this works pretty well. That first bit can be done, and then it just kind of like loosens up with your finger. And then it's really nice. Everything just opens up. Here's the bottom half, which we don't care about. But you can see, here's one of the things that the Taranis is really nice. You can see just what a good job. They've got all these really nice connectors, all this soldering's really nice. You can see, as people have commented, everything's nicely zip-tied together. Just really, really nice. But anyways, there's the 2 switches. Oh, and another handy hint is always put the switches into the top position, so that when you stick them back in, you don't accidentally put them in upside down and then have to go back and change that. Anyways, we get to the stick control, and it's really nice. Both sides are set up with the ratchet mechanism, and both sides are set up with the spring release, so you can actually change out, mode 1, mode 2, etc. really easily. The ratcheting is really simple. You can loosen it up and have it not ratchet at all. Like if you're a heli pilot or something like that, you can tighten it down. You might be able to hear there's a lot more ratchet there. And of course you can control the friction. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. I like it a little bit tighter. Then the other things that you can adjust the tightness of the spring, and that's what we're mainly concerned with a 1.5 mm Allen head wrench. And I want it a little bit tighter, partly because I like it a little bit more tight on my thumbs, and also especially on this guy here, I want to see if that's going to help the centering. So I'm going to give that like about a turn in both directions, and we'll kind of see how that goes. Okay, so that's feeling pretty even on the 2 sides. The other interesting thing is you can change between mode 1 and mode 2, that the centering spring is adjusted by what? By this right here, that you can bring that down. If we look hold it up like that, you can see there's one of the ball bearings right inside the hole there. And this is a really nice feeling gimbal, and that's a large part due to, to these ball bearings. You can see also there's the screws here, that you can get from the other side. So if you need to swap these out, it looks like they'll come out really super easy. So that's how you adjust everything. And to put everything back, you just set the switches back into the square holders. Kind of wiggle it down a little bit. And then set everything back together. You can see all. Okay, we got the battery put back in and turned on. Checked out the switch, so these switches look like they're put back properly. And now we're going to jump over there, and it already looks a lot better. I've got a 0 and a 0.7. So that's how you open it up. Do it. We'll screw these switches back with. We'll put the screws back in, and it'll be nicely tuned and ready to go. And those sticks for my fingers feel pretty nice.